hello, everyone. The Water Bear here with a quick message. I want to talk to you guys about an aspect in astrology that really strongly deals with relationships, the relationship with ourselves, and really also shows the relationships that you're going to attract in your life. Okay, in your birth chart, there's an angle called the descendant. Okay, there's four main angles in your birth chart which fit on a cross. All right, and if you look at your birth chart, it's a circle and it has a strong black line down the center and one on the horizon. Okay, and what that actually represents is the Earth. All right, and how we relate with the planets. Okay, because astrology, from the majority of the perspective you're getting astrology from, is from Earth's perspective. There are different charts that deal with, like a helio chart shows the planets from the sun's perspective. But in modern astrology, the majority of what you're going to be hearing and how it's affecting us is coming from Earth's perspective. And so that circle represents how the planets interrelate around Earth. Okay, and so you'll see the circle and you'll see the line going across. The line going across is the horizon. Okay, and the ascendant, the start of your chart, like if people say I'm a Virgo rising. Okay, that means Virgo, the sign of Virgo starts and is on my ascendant. Okay, that means that starts my chart. Okay, and that is in the east. Okay, planets that rise on the east, that they're rising on your ascendant. Okay, so if you have a planet on your ascendant, that planet's going to be really, really highlighted in your chart, but it also is going to really represent who you are, because the rising sign deals with who you are and who you come off as. Okay, now opposing the ascendant is the west side, and this is where planets set. Okay, so the sun sets on the west. All right, and this deals with others. Okay, so on the east is self, who you are, how you come off. Then the opposing energy would be others. Okay, how you interrelate with others and who they see you as. All right, and so the descendant is an interesting energy because since the ascendant, the opposite point, represents who you are, and how you come off and your physical body, the descendant represents who you attract, but it also represents a part within yourself that is not as expressed. Okay, it represents the energy that other people see in you that you might not recognize within yourself. Okay, and the thing I want to talk to you guys about is, depending on how you express your descendant energy, that depends on who you attract. Okay, in relationships, in all relationships, and it's very, very important to know this, because you can kind of see the relationships you attract, and really kind of, that'll tell you how you're dealing with yourself. Okay, and that's just in general. Relationships are a mirror. That's why we have them. Is everything is a relationship with other things, so we can see how we interrelate and how we mesh with other people, and also use other people in other situations to learn more about ourselves. Okay, and so in astrology you can see that. And astrology definitely shows all the different themes of life. So of course you're going to see the theme of relationships in astrology. And so it's interesting because I have a planet, well, it's an asteroid. I have Lilith directly conjunct my descendant. Okay, and anybody who has a planet on the descendant, this is going to really, really show theme in your life. Okay, because already in general, whatever sign you have on the descendant, everybody has a different sign. Like I have Pisces on the descendant because I'm a Virgo rising. Okay, and Virgo and Pisces are opposite signs. So since Virgo is what you see, who I attract would be very Pisces. Okay, and what that is because I'm Virgo rising and I exhibit and exert a lot of Virgo energy coming onto the world. The Pisces energy is the counterpart of that. So for me to be balanced, I need to also embrace the Pisces energy. But since it's not who I am, because that is my rising sign, Virgo, I'm going to have to attract that energy into me to get that balance. Okay, so you always seem to seek your opposite energy. You get what I'm saying? Kind of like opposites attract. Okay, but the thing about it, which is what I want to talk about, is if you are not already expressing that energy within and you're solely trying to seek it fully from something else outside of yourself, you're going to attract the shadow and negative energies of that sign. Okay, and if you have a planet on the descendant, if you're not fully expressing that planet's energy, you're going to attract the negative qualities of that planet. Okay, and why would why would that happen? You get what I'm saying? Spirit is very, very smart. Okay, if you didn't know, now you know. Okay, very intelligent. It's for this reason. If you are not expressing an energy and you meet that energy in a way that's uncomfortable to you, it's going to force you to express that energy. People make a lot of posts about if you don't love yourself, you will meet different people who don't love you until you love yourself. You get what I'm saying? You're going to meet the mirror of what you're expressing until you learn how to express it in a different way. Okay? If you don't like that mirror. You get what I'm saying? Um, and so to go a little deeper with this, I want to use an example. Okay? So, especially for my people that have a planet on the descendant, okay? Any planets, I mean, if you have a planet on the angles, it's important in your life, okay? Like I have the moon on my midheaven. The midheaven is, like I showed the cross, the top point of the cross, okay? The midheaven is, if I'm holding you when you just were born, I look directly up at the top of the sky, that is the midheaven, okay? And it represents your career, your legacy, okay? Which is why a lot of people see me, I always was seen as like the mother figure, even though I'm, a man, and seen as a nurturer, and people just kind of know that from me. Yeah, people just walk up all the time, asking me. Just literally yesterday, someone walked up, I was sitting on the porch and asked me for a wrench. People come up and ask me for lighters, money, because I give off this moon mothering kind of energy, okay? And that's also why in my posts I seem to really connect with the collective, because the moon is intuitive and receptive. So I always seem to know, how the collective is feeling, okay? Sorry for the noise. I'm going to kind of bring this closer so you can hear. So any planets on the angles are very important, okay? Like Rihanna has Venus on her ascendant. Venus is the planet of beauty, okay? Notice how Rihanna looks, okay? And your ascendant is your body, okay? Keke Palmer also has Venus on the ascendant, and I believe Angelina Jolie as well. So all these women I'm listing are gorgeous and known for their aesthetic. They have Venus, the planet of aesthetic, on their rising sign, on their ascendant, so that's their body. You get what I'm saying? So if you have planets on the descendant, though, if you do not express that energy, because it's not, the descendant is the energy that is foreign to you. It's energy that other people see in you, but you don't really express within yourself, which is why you attract relationships, which is the descendant, to help strengthen that unexpressed energy within yourself. Okay, so depending on your rising sign, if you're Aries rising, the energy you express less is Libra. So you attract lots of Libras to help you understand balance in others. Okay, if you are, like for my example, I'm a Virgo rising, very analytical, very detail oriented, very about control, very about the logic, left brain. Okay, so growing up for me, I had no connection with the spiritual. With it was always harder for me. My emotions were always harder for me to process growing up, and other people saw me as very Pisces because that's my descendant. I was a dancer, I'm very artistic. Looking back, I can see that Piscean energy because other people saw it, but I couldn't really see it expressed in myself. If you told my younger self, "Are you artistic?" I probably would say no. But looking back, that's all I did was art. Okay, and so you can kind of see that energy. It's the energy that you have to kind of grow into, basically. Okay, um, and so what happens is my entire life up until recently, when I've learned to accept and embrace my Pisces energy, I attracted the negative qualities of Pisces in all my relationships. Okay, and what this also shows is the people you attract in general. If you look at my friend groups, all of my friends are basically artists. They're dancers or in art or something. Okay, and growing up, the majority of my friends were dancers because I dance, or other artists. Like when I was in elementary school, I was really enjoying art and drawing, so those became my friends. I also was in the horticulture, like plant, outdoors group. That's kind of that's spiritual and art and that kind of thing and natural. And so I had those kind of friendships. Okay, so you really attract those energies in, but I didn't really realize it. You don't really realize it until looking back. Okay, but growing up though, because I was uncomfortable expressing my emotions, because I, didn't embrace my artistry. Like I hid that I danced. If you went to school with me, I didn't talk about it. No one knew outside of the dance school I was part of, or the dance company. I was still in high school and stuff, in middle school and public school, but my public school friends did not know that I danced, okay, unless they found out somehow. So that artistic part of me was suppressed. Okay, my love for music I did not really share. I just kind of was into the, you know, popular music. But growing up, I was picked on for liking opera and all these different kind of musics that I really enjoy now, and so I suppressed that as well. So all the artistic, the spiritual as well. I grew up very strongly Southern Baptist, and that's an energy that I learned from but never really resonated with. And so that's another energy that, other people around me were really fully expressing their spirituality, but I had a block on mine. Okay, and so what happened was I attracted, because I was not fully expressing my Pisces energy, negative energies that of that Pisces energy. The downside of Pisces is people that have no boundaries. Okay, it is, someone that is needs saving. Okay, the victim mentality. So all of my relationships, up until the point when I learned to embrace my artistry, embrace my emotions, embrace spirituality. Okay, all the people I attracted needed me, wanted me to save them, okay? Wanted me to deal with their emotions, because if you think about it, was I dealing with mine? No. So I'm going to attract other people who don't deal with theirs. You get what I'm saying? So now I have to deal with theirs because I'm not dealing with mine, okay? Um, that kind of energy, okay? Um, People with loose boundaries. I had no boundaries, okay? Well, honestly, back then, no, I mean, not necessarily, because I was in the unexpressed energy of Pisces. Now that I have them, though, I'm attracting. So that now, let me bring the switch in. Okay, I can talk all day about the negative energies of Pisces. But now that I've embraced the positive energies of Pisces, now that I listen to my emotions, now that I embrace my spirituality, now that I embrace my artistry, my dance, my music, okay, now that I'm very connected to spirit, okay, and now that I love isolation as well, all right, these are all Pisces things. Now that I'm doing these things, I am losing the relationships that I had with the people that express the negative energies of Pisces, and I'm attracting new artists. I'm attracting new, dance connections. I'm attracting um, the positive energies of Pisces. Okay, and then the planet is important as well. So go ahead and check with your birth chart what sign you have on the descendant, and then look at the qualities of that sign. If it's Leo, do you where's your ego? You might not think that you have one, but you need to fully express it. Do you express your courage? Do you express your willpower? If not, you're going to attract very egotistical people. That's the negative energy of Leo. Okay, people that need lots of attention and look at me, look at me, look at me, because you're not taking the role. You're not standing tall within yourself. You get what I'm saying? Um, if you have Scorpio on the descendant, okay, your Taurus rising, Scorpio on the descendant, you're going to attract some crazy, intense, traumatic people, okay, because you have a difficulty of letting go. You have a difficulty of, you know, understanding crisis. You don't want to look deep within yourself and have transformation, so you're going to attract really intense people who don't look at themselves to force you to transform, okay? So this is kind of what happens, in relationships. You can see this in all relationships. It's not astrology just kind of helps you to understand it, but you can see this. People in life, you can see this with narcissists and empaths, how they, attract to each other. Okay, if you don't stand up for yourself, if you're the type of soul that just kind of goes with the flow, you're going to end up getting stomped on, and you're going to wonder, why do I keep attracting people who stomp on me? Because you need to learn not to stomp on others, but to not be stomped on. You get what I'm saying? You have to express your descendant energy. Okay, um, and that's again Pisces. I was stomped on growing up a lot, and Pisces again. That's I was not expressing that Pisces energy and really understanding about boundaries and my energy, and I was just letting everything go and just blah blah blah. Blah. Okay, martyred that victimhood of Pisces. Okay, and so. It's important to really know the descendant, but also check the planets, okay? Check to see if you have any planets on your descendant, because that means that energy is difficult for you to express or uncomfortable for you to express. And so as you express that, it shifts your energy, okay? Like for me, I have Lilith on my descendant, and Lilith is the initially she left the Garden of Eden. She was the first spouse of Adam. She wanted full equality, but Adam wanted someone submissive, someone that could be like the typical kind of what we see as the wife, the kind of the step under of the man, even though that's not That's what we're moving away from, okay? Lilith was all about, like, no, I'm not about to be under you. I want to be equal. So when Adam did not agree with that, she fled the garden. And so Lilith's energy is about independence, autonomy, standing up for yourself, and the darkness within that society shames, okay? The parts of yourself within that make you authentic that other people don't want you to express, okay? So my entire life, because I did not express my Lilith energy, Lilith is also your very sexual energy, your deep, raw sexuality. Because of my sexuality, especially growing up, I was in the closet, and I have a lot of sexual energy, and so it was always kind of shamed growing up. I remember, like, I was like maybe 13 or 14, and my grandmother told me, you know, back there, talking about my butt, it's about things going out, not going in. And I didn't even know what that meant. At the time, I didn't even know what gay was, but I could, just looking back, I was already expressing that kind of energy, and so my family, it's like there was that shame coming on, okay? And so growing up, I was very uncomfortable with my sexuality, with my body. I didn't move my hips or dance or anything until I was like 22, okay? Even taking hip hop and stuff when we had to dance. I remember there was a choreographer when I was like 18 and 19 who was a very kind of feminine, like gay man, and his choreography was very feminine. And it was so awkward for me, even though I wanted deep down to express it fully. It was awkward for me because I had that blockage with my sexuality, okay? So my Lilith energy was all the way blocked. So I attracted, up until I embraced my Lilith energy, attracted the negative qualities of Lilith, which is insane, okay? So all the people around me were overly autonomous, overly self-interested, overly abrasive, and overly sexual and dark, okay? Um, and now that what that did though was taught me to toughen up, taught me to learn my autonomy, taught me to say no, taught me to create my boundaries, taught me to become and embrace Lilith, okay? And what's interesting even more is on my solar return last year, and last year was the main year where I really embraced my Lilith, okay? Lilith was conjunct my Mercury on my birthday last year, okay? On my birthday last year, Mercury and Lilith were together in the sky. So this whole past year, it was a lot on my mind. I really became Lilith in my mind, and my life drastically shifted because I embraced Lilith, okay? This year, which is interesting, Lilith and Venus were together on my birthday. So in my relationships, I'm going to be Lilith now, okay? So you can see Spirit is really teaching me a lot about this Lilith energy that I was suppressing for so long, okay? And now I'm meeting people that have strong Lilith in their chart, but they're positive energies of Lilith because I'm embracing my Lilith, okay? So it's really, very, very important to understand if you have any planets on your descendant especially, because whatever the energy of that planet is, it may be difficult for you to express. If you have, like, I was talking to someone who actually had Lilith, like I have Lilith on my descendant. He had Lilith on his ascendant because he is Lilith, and that makes sense because I would attract Lilith-like people, okay? But he has Mars on his descendant, meaning that he is nervous about taking action. He was, applying for a job at a time, and I remember him talking about interviews and how nervous he was and how he was like bailing the interviews and not going and just like messing them up. And I'm sitting here like, come on, like take it on, like you got this. I have Mars in my 10th house, a very strong place for Mars, and I have a lot of this get it going kind of energy, okay, strong-willed energy. So he attracted me as a person with strong-willed energy to help teach him to be stronger. I attracted him, a person with a lot of Lilith energy, to teach me to be Lilith, okay? And so you can kind of see how astrology works. It's very, very interesting to look at how things work. You always attract a lot of the opposite energies, okay? Or the same energies to help you embrace your energy even more, And so this is just something I wanted to share with you guys. I thought it was very important that I want to talk about little relationship advice that is astrology based, okay? I have synastry charts and synastry charts. I have synastry readings on my website, okay? If you want one with, I've done them with spouses, with friendships, with coworkers, mother, child as well, to see how you relate. This is the way, okay? So I thought this was important to share. Check out your chart and see what you have as well. What placements you have, and if you have any planets on the descendant, okay, because that's very, very important. All right, and look at that quality as well. Look at that planet and see, okay, what are the qualities of this planet? Do I fully express them? Okay, or the people I'm attracting, do they seem to have the negative energies of that planet? Like the guy I was talking about with Mars on the Descendant, he always talked about how I remember one time we were being kind of had a little PDA in public, and he got really uncomfortable, and he was like, I've had a lot of aggression come towards me um, before. He's been punched before, and he's not a violent person because he doesn't express his Mars, but he attracts violent people and violent interactions for him to learn how to stand up for himself. And what's funny is, as soon as he was nervous about that, I was like, "Let somebody come up. Let's go. What are they gonna do? Like, let's go, neck and buck." Like, I was ready to fight, Um, and that's the energy that he needs to express. Meaning, that's why he attracted me. Okay, and at that time, And so it's just interesting to see, and interesting to see. So if you have energy, especially like Pluto on the Descendant or Saturn, any of the malefics energies, Saturn, Mars, Uranus, even you could experience lots of crazy and traumatic experiences or sudden events, and you're like, why is all this craziness happening in my relationships? It's because you're not embracing that crazy energy. You know what I'm saying? It's about balance. So that's what I had to share, guys. Hope you found some value in this. Um, yeah, that's what I have. So again, if you want personal session with me, or you want to look up more with your chart, or look up, how you and another person relate, check out my highlights on my Instagram page. Okay. Website again is still under construction, but I do have the highlights up on the Instagram so you can see my services, what I offer. Okay, and get in contact with me. So that's what I have, guys. There's a beautiful little butterfly flying around I've been looking at, so that's what I'm gonna go observe some more. Go stalk this butterfly. Um, that's what I got, guys. Enjoy your day. Hope you enjoyed this guidance, and I'll talk to you later. Deuces.